Alright everyone, welcome back to another stream. It is currently 1:36 p.m. Central, and we have a flash flood warning now, okay? This flash flood warning is in effect for Howard County, Nebraska. This includes the towns of Farwell, Elba, and Danbrog, okay? So at 1:33 p.m., Doppler radar indicated thunderstorms producing heavy rain across the warned area. Additional rainfall amounts of 1 to 2 inches are possible in the warned area. Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. Hazard: flash flooding caused by thunderstorms. Source: radar. Impact: flash flooding of small creeks and streams, urban areas, highways, streets, and underpasses, as well as other poor drainage and low-lying areas. Some locations that may experience flash flooding include Danbrog, Elba, Howard City, Farwell, and Bolus. Precautionary/preparedness actions: turn around, don't drown when encountering flooded roads. Most flood deaths occur in vehicles, okay? Now, again, this is a flash flood warning for portions of Howard County here in central Nebraska, but this is actually not going to be our main focus today. Our main focus is going to be on the severe weather threat that is going to start to unfold across portions of Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. We have kind of a secondary threat up here, actually, across parts of Nebraska, Colorado, Kansas, New Mexico, Texas, and Oklahoma. And then we even have a third slight risk in effect down here for portions of southern and central Texas. So it's going to be a busy day of severe weather coverage here. Again, we're going to be live through it all for you guys. Again, we do have a flash flood warning to the north of Grand Island, all right, northwest of Grand Island here. This is a flash flood warning for Elba, Farwell, Danbrog, and Howard City. This does not include St. Paul. Again, this does not include Grand Island. This does not include Cairo, but it does include areas along Highway 11 and Highway 92 in central Nebraska here. So, again, if you're in that area, stay alive, don't drive, turn around, don't drown. Make sure that you're not driving in flooded roadways. Now, we can also see down here we've already got quite a bit of convection starting to pop off across portions of Louisiana and Mississippi here. And I mean, guys, these are also going to bring that threat for some flash flooding down in portions of southern Louisiana. As I mean, we are just seeing absolutely torrential rainfall down here. If we take a look at this live cam here from Browser, Louisiana, we can see it is just an awful muggy day. The humidity is 100%, all right, because it is currently raining out there right now. Our temperature is currently sitting at about 70.7, and so is our dew points. And again, that's going to allow for quite a bit of flash flooding due to heavy thunderstorms to occur down here in portions of southern Louisiana. If we take a look at the excessive rainfall outlook here for today, we can see it actually looks pretty interesting with a large slight risk across portions of Missouri, Kansas, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida. So again, very large. That's a 2 out of 5 risk of flash flooding. That is a 15% chance to see heavy rainfall leading to flash flooding within 25 miles of any given location there. Some of the bigger cities in this include New Orleans, Louisiana, Jackson, Mississippi, Little Rock, Arkansas, down towards Dallas, Texas, and even all the way down to Houston, Texas, okay? And then the marginal risk actually goes all the way from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan back down into Texas. So we're talking about a very widespread flash flooding event. And again, we actually have ongoing flash flooding even outside of our marginal risk today. So don't focus too much on the exact, specifics of where our risks lie. Just know that those are the greater likelihoods of where we are to see flash flooding. But as we're seeing right now, flash flooding can occur outside of those areas. And we actually just got another flash flood warning now. And guys, that's all the way out there in New Mexico. San Miguel County, New Mexico. You now have a flash flood warning. This includes areas like Canoncito, Sapelo, and Montezuma. And this is a considerable one. So this is a life-threatening flash flood warning. So the National Weather Service in Albuquerque has issued a flash flood warning for the Hermit's Peak and Calf Canyon burn scar in northwestern San Miguel County in northeastern New Mexico. Hazard: life-threatening flash flooding. Thunderstorms producing flash flooding in and around the Hermit's Peak and Calf Canyon burn scar. Impact: life-threatening flash flooding of areas in and around the Hermit's Peak and Calf Canyon burn scar. So, again, this is a life-threatening situation. Heavy rainfall will cause extensive and severe flash flooding of creeks, streams, and ditches. In the Hermit's Peak and Calf Canyon burn scar, severe debris flows can also be anticipated across roads. Roads and driveways may be washed away in places cases, if you encounter floodwaters, climb to safety. Runoff from rainfall will cause elevated water levels within vulnerable drainages in and downstream of the Hermit's Peak Calf Canyon fire burn area. Do not camp along streams and rivers. Remain alert when hiking in steep, narrow canyons. Know where you are relative to low spots and drainages. So again, this is a life-threatening situation now for portions of northeastern New Mexico here. And again, that is not even in our flash flooding area today, where we're expecting to see the worst of the flash flooding. So again, we're talking about very serious ongoing flash flooding here. We're going to go ahead and turn back on the Storm Prediction Center outlook for today. But again, right now, our main focus is actually the flash flooding ongoing on portions of New Mexico and then also portions of Nebraska. We are seeing some serious heavy rainfall totals start to occur here in those areas. I'm going to go ahead and bring up stream chat, so if anybody has any questions about their location, feel free to leave those down below. Again, this is live severe weather coverage. Hello, everybody. Sorry, I just pulled up chat. But yeah. We do not have any mesoscale discussions in effect from the Storm Prediction Center right now, but I imagine we're going to get some soon talking about the severe weather threat increasing for portions of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Arkansas here, and then possibly also some out here for our event starting to unfold in the Western Plains. And again, you can already see some of these storms are causing some life-threatening flash flooding like this one here off to the east of Santa Fe. I will say this does not include downtown Las Vegas, New Mexico, not to be confused with Las Vegas, Nevada. That's a totally different place, but this does not include downtown Las Vegas, New Mexico here, but it does include areas off to the northwest of that along Highway 65 like Montezuma here. So again, that's kind of what we're talking about right now, is an elevated flash flooding threat for portions of the United States. But again, the severe weather threat in general will really start to increase here over the next several hours. And again, some of these storms down here in Louisiana and Mississippi will likely receive a flash flood warning soon, as some of these are just so intense with the heavy rainfall down here. Some of the ones near Lafayette and Baton Rouge especially look the most concerning to me in terms of their heavy rainfall, and even the damaging wind threat with some of these is going to be highly elevated. So again, we are talking about ongoing flash flooding right now if you're just now tuning in, for portions of Nebraska and New Mexico. I know it's kind of weird just to talk about those two states individual, considering they are very far away from each other. How is Fort Wayne right now? It is sunny, but for maybe tomorrow or Sunday. Well, yeah, I mean, Fort Wayne right now, it's fine today, and then going into tomorrow also, you're going to be just fine. You are included in the general thunderstorm risk, but usually that's not any reason to panic or anything. That means the severe threat is low. All right, we're not expecting any severe weather for that area. And then going into Sunday, you're not even in that general thunderstorm risk. So Fort Wayne's good. St. Louis today has the general thunderstorm risk, but again, the main thing for the St. Louis area is actually just going to be the heavy rainfall. We're not expecting any severe weather for St. Louis. Now, moving on to tomorrow, it's going to be a very similar situation, and then going into Sunday, even a very similar situation. No severe weather expected for the St. Louis area, but over the next few days, we may see some isolated occurrences of heavy rainfall in those regions. And now we have another alert. This is a special marine warning here for portions of Louisiana. This is for the Manville area over Lake Pontchartrain. This is for wind gusts to nearly 50 knots and some small hail. So, gotta look out for this. Some of these stronger storms are starting to build out here again in parts of Louisiana, and some of them could even receive some severe thunderstorm warnings soon, and I would not be surprised. Again, we are talking about some strong storms down in Louisiana right now, some flash flooding ongoing in New Mexico and Nebraska, and then also some of these storms starting to fire off here in the far western portions of our slight risk of severe weather out here in the plains today, areas like the Rockies. We do have this little cell here near Trinidad, Colorado, that is looking to intensify here. Again, right now it's not really producing any severe weather per se, but it could be producing some lightning, some thunder, a little bit of heavy rain in some spots, but it's nothing crazy just yet. But it will build as it continues to head off to the east, most likely. How am I? I'm doing great. Doing phenomenal. So, let's go back over to our life-threatening situation unfolding here for parts of New Mexico. Again, this is a life-threatening flash flood warning. Again, if you're in that area there, you gotta be careful. Stay safe. And it looks like KHDC is down for some reason, which is really unfortunate because that radar site would have been a huge help to have today, and now it's down, so that's just great. Now we really can't look at any of these storms out here in southern Louisiana. I was kind of questioning why the special marine warning got issued because, we were looking from this radar site, and I was like, I don't see anything. But it turns out that's because this is old data here. But if we look here from the Mobile, Pensacola radar, we can definitely see that very strong storm there off to the north of New Orleans that is going to be heading north up towards Manville very soon. Right now over Lake Pontchartrain. Very weird name. By the way, how do you guys like the thumbnail? I was switching it up today. I'm trying to, make some more engaging thumbnails than my typical just picture of a tornado with some text over it. Trying to make things a little more interesting. There's definitely still room for improvement, obviously, but I think I like this better than my usual thumbnails. I think it's definitely going to do a better job of drawing in some new viewers. And hopefully some people that could use this severe weather coverage that we're doing for today. It looks cool? Alright, nice. Thank you. So let's kind of talk about the timing for today's event while we're kind of at a standstill with our severe weather threat. Not the temperature. I want the composite reflectivity. So let's kind of drag it out to where we are already, and we'll kind of talk about what the NAM was forecasting for this time zone. So they were talking about the potential for some cells down here for southern portions of Arkansas, Texas, Louisiana, southern Mississippi. This is what they were painting. And you know what? They got it almost spot on. That's almost exactly what's happening. A lot of this heavy rainfall, though, actually is a little further to the south than they were predicting. But we go into this afternoon, and as you can see, those cells continue to intensify, maybe even producing some sort of damaging wind and large hail threat. As they move into portions of western Mississippi here, we get a lot more of them. And then we can actually start to see our next severe weather threat start to unfold after that. Right? So 5, 6, 7, 8 p.m., we're talking about the potential for some severe weather across parts of Colorado, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska. 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m. It's going to be an overnight time event, all right, for some of these storms. For some of you guys out here, around midnight, we are still talking about some strong to severe storms impacting portions of New Mexico and Colorado here. By, 2, 3 a.m., those are starting to weaken out, but they are still possibly producing some sort of, strong thunderstorm threats up here in portions of southwestern Kansas and moving into the Oklahoma Panhandle. And then even by 6 a.m., we can still see some of those in the Woodward, Oklahoma area, 7 a.m., but by then they should be much weaker, and they shouldn't really produce any sort of severe weather threat. And then also, we have our severe weather event down here that's going to unfold in portions of southern Texas, but really the NAM is not painting too much for this area. That's kind of why I didn't really mention it at all, actually, is because we're not expecting too much, according to the NAM. Now, the NAM messes up sometimes, right? It does, but the SPC and the NAM are kind of disagreeing on what's going to unfold down here across parts of southwest Texas. The NAM is painting a little bit of convection around the Fredericksburg area. Those could be some strong to severe storms for a while into this afternoon and this evening, but really they're not talking about too much overall for the San Antonio area, slight risk of severe weather. Again, the main ones they're actually focusing on are the ones out here in the plains and the one here in the Arklamis area. How's it going to look in an hour? For where? Just like in general? I think in an hour it's probably going to be similar to what it is right now, right? So some flash flooding, some stronger storms, but again, right now we're not really talking about any severe weather. The reason that we are doing this stream is to prepare because we are going to be in for a long day of severe weather out here, once again across portions of the United States. Yesterday, we weren't expecting anything at all to be that significant, but we got a tornado emergency yesterday, so we are not going to let our guard down today. We're not going to let that happen again. We're going to make sure that we are ready and prepared for anything that could happen. We have 3 slight risks of severe weather in place, so anything could happen today, guys. And I know that sounds kind of stupid considering a slight risk is only a 2 out of 5, but you got to remember, yesterday we had a 3 out of 5, and we got the highest level of weather warning that exists. So anything can happen in 2024 severe weather outbreaks, I'm telling you guys. So yeah, let's go back out here to our storm near Santa Fe that is producing that life-threatening flash flooding. Again, this is near Montezuma and Canoncito, Sapello, areas along Highway 65 right now. Your cousin said not that long ago he got hit by a huge storm. Tornado sirens were going off. It broke the windshield. Wow. Where was that at? Some of these cells in Mississippi could become problematic, but the thing is, while they're discreet, this environment isn't like super prime for severe weather. I mean, the severe weather threat is there with some of these, but as you can see, they're growing very slowly. It's taking them hours and hours to really get going. But yeah, I mean, you can see they started building, wait, what? Oh, I guess this radar's just doing really frequent updates. Okay. Well, still, though, they started building about an hour ago, and still they're not producing any sort of severe weather threat. They're just your typical garden variety storms out here. Some of them may be producing some heavy rainfall, but nothing severe yet by any means. And again, they've had an hour to grow, so if they were going to do something, it probably would have already happened. I'm not saying they're not going to do anything at all, but I do think the chance is pretty low at this point that any of these do become tornadic. So, that's good. But again, they could produce some heavy rainfall, some lightning, maybe some small hail and gusty winds, so we'll have to watch out. I wouldn't be surprised if 1 or 2 of them did end up getting severe warning, but that's going to be a while from now. And now we have a tornado warning. Wow. Okay, we have a tornado warning in Nebraska. That just came out of nowhere. It disappeared, but you guys saw that. You heard the alert. We have a tornado warning now for portions of Nebraska. Waiting for it to pop back up here. There it is. So this is for areas along Highway 81 near Humphrey, Nebraska. Take cover now. This is for Platte County. This is a tornado warning. Let's kind of check up on this here. The National Weather Service in Omaha has issued a tornado warning for north central Platte County and northeastern Nebraska until 2:45 p.m. At 1:53 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 5 miles north of Platte Center or 14 miles northwest of Columbus, moving north at 10 miles per hour. Hazard, tornado, source, radar indicated rotation, impact, expect damage to mobile homes, roofs, and vehicles. This dangerous storm will be near Humphrey at around 2 p.m. Other locations impacted by this tornadic thunderstorm include Cornley and Tarnov. Now, this storm, it really came out of nowhere. I was not expecting that, if you couldn't tell by my reaction to that tornado warning. We were not expecting this, but here you go. We'll say the rotation is incredibly weak with this. I'm very surprised they decided to go with a tornado warning, but we'll see. I mean, I don't think it's going to do anything, but I could be wrong. This could actually produce a land spout, and that may be why they issued this warning, but again, make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately in Tarnov, Humphrey, Cornley, and other portions of north central Platte County. This just barely clips areas along Highway 81 in between Platte Center and Humphrey. So if you're in that area there, make sure you're taking shelter. If you're traveling along Highway 81 in that area, make sure that you're getting off and finding a substantial structure to take shelter in. Yeah, that's very true. 1 second we look away and boom, a tornado warning. That's why, again, we're not letting our guard down today. We are going to be live for as long as possible, even though we're not expecting some widespread tornado outbreak. We weren't expecting what happened yesterday to happen, and it did. And that's been the case for pretty much all of the outbreaks of 2024 for the past month or so. So we're playing it safe here. We're going to be live for a while today. And again, as you can see, our theory is already proven correct as we have a tornado warning for northeastern Nebraska. Again, I would not be actually surprised if this did end up producing a land spout. So, if you don't know, a land spout is basically a weak tornado. Usually land spouts are much more brief, much weaker than tornadoes. Usually they end up producing some EF0, EF1 damage, but a tornado is a tornado, guys, so treat this with, the same level of concern as you would if this was a tornado on the ground. This is a very dangerous storm here. Hurricane season starts tomorrow. Yep, it does. I actually did just record a forecast earlier, but I'm going to wait to post that later because I'm posting another video right now. But yeah, I posted a video on some of the stuff for this hurricane season. It's just a severe weather breakdown, but we kind of talk about this upcoming hurricane season in it, so thought you guys might enjoy that. So again, if you're just now tuning in, we do have a tornado warning for portions of north central Platte County and northeastern Nebraska. This storm is near Cornley, Humphrey, and Tarnov, and is capable of producing a tornado at any minute. So if you're out here, take shelter immediately. Again, if we do have a tornado, it would be located somewhere right near Tarnov right now. It's going to be heading up towards Humphrey and Cornley over the next several minutes. Again, I was not expecting this, but here we go, guys. We really have to start paying attention now. Here, this is actually a good idea. We'll put that there so you guys can see all of our active alerts. So again, if you're just not tuning in, we do have a tornado warning for portions of north central Platte County, Nebraska. If you're in this area, take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you're outdoors in a mobile home or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Not long ago, you lived in Florida, and hurricane season for us was in September. Most of the hurricanes, the scariest was probably Hurricane Charlie. Yeah, I think Florida's going to be a big hurricane hotspot this season because for the past few years now, Florida has gotten a major hurricane landfall every hurricane season pretty much, and since we're expecting this to be a historic, potentially even one of the biggest hurricane seasons of all time, I would be shocked if Florida did not get at least a tropical storm landfall this hurricane season. I think that's fair to say, for sure. There we go. I like that. I'm just going to get rid of it, though. I was trying to mess around with it, see if I can make it look nice, but it doesn't really fit. It doesn't work that well. Waiting for this next radar scan to come in. It should be any second now. They're updating the radar about every 4 minutes. And now that we have a tornado warning, you think they do it even more often. So again, this is for a small section of north central Platte County in northeastern Nebraska. This does not include, I repeat, this does not include downtown Columbus. This does not include Platte Center. This does not include Oconee. But this does include Humphrey and Tarnov as well as Cornley. Does not include Creston. But yeah. Again, I wouldn't rule out an isolated land spout with this. Again, if we do have a tornado, it would be located right on top of Tarnov right now. So. So again, if we have a tornado right now, it'd be located right in there, off to the west of Tarnov. Just barely off to the west. So, again, if you're in Tarnov, you need to be in your tornado safe spot right now. Same thing with Humphrey and Cornley. Cornley, however you pronounce that. This tornado warning includes 903 people. There are 2 schools in this tornado warning and 0 hospitals. So, I know some schools are already out, but hopefully these schools out here are taking shelter, as this is actually a pretty dangerous storm here. Again, this storm could actively be producing a land spout near Tarnov. We don't have any confirmation of that, but it's a real possibility. So, if you're out here, again, you need to take shelter immediately. Very strong storm here, very dangerous storm. And again, as it heads up towards Humphrey and Cornley, it's going to continue to rotate and have the capabilities of producing a tornado or a land spout. Which, I mean, a land spout is a tornado, but they're kind of 2 separate things. So, and now we actually do have a new special weather statement for Martin County, Minnesota. This is for areas like Sherburne, Fox Lake. This is for the threat of a strong thunderstorm producing half-inch in diameter hail. So if you're out here in Sherburne or Fox Lake, areas to the west of Welcome, make sure that you are moving indoors immediately. Again, this is a storm that could be producing hail up to half-inch in diameter. And now we have a new flash flood warning as well for Lincoln County, South Dakota, and Lyon County, Iowa. This is it for areas like Canton and Beersford. So if you're out here, make sure that you are staying alive and I said that wrong. Stay alive and don't drive. Yeah, we're starting to really pick up now, guys. So your rotation will be located somewhere in here now, off to the northwest of Tarnov, and it's going to continue to head towards Humphrey and Cornley, however you pronounce that. Again, it's weak rotation, but it is there, so we've got to stay hyper-focused on this storm. Because, again, the chance of it producing a land spout is actually relatively high. The chance of it producing, like, a fully fledged tornado, they're pretty low, I'll be honest with you. But the chances of this producing a land spout, they're definitely there. So, we got to watch it. At this point, it's really, honestly, it's not doing much except for, again, a possible, it's not doing anything except for a possible tornado. This isn't even really a thunderstorm anymore. This is a little rain shower here in between Humphrey and Tarnov, but it has the potential to produce a tornado. Again, this is a very rare and interesting situation where this cell just barely started rotating enough to warrant a tornado warning from the National Weather Service. It may have a slight chance to produce a land spout. So they went ahead and issued a tornado warning for this, but I mean, it's barely even raining out here. Again, guys, this is a little shower at this point. Maybe producing some moderate rainfall in some spots, but at this point, the only thing to worry about is a possible tornado. There's no hail, no wind, no heavy rainfall, probably not even any lightning with this storm anymore, and the tornado warning has now been removed. Oh, wait, no, it hasn't. It disappeared for a second. What the heck? It disappeared, and now it's back. Okay, then. That's cool, I guess. Welcome back, tornado warning. It disappeared for a second, I think, yeah, and now it's gone again. Okay, I think the warning has been removed. It just reappeared for a second for some reason. Just kind of like how it disappeared right before it got back, whenever it was issued. But anyway, since we don't have any ongoing tornado warnings or severe thunderstorm warnings, we're going to go ahead and end off this live severe weather coverage here. We will be back later covering some more severe weather for portions of Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Kansas, Colorado, Nebraska. Wherever it lies, we're going to be covering it. So again, thank you all for tuning in to this live stream.